Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Uh, Happy New Year to everyone. So we said we're not doing a video on the 1st of January, but just a quick one because there is some not breaking news, but some also not, I don't know, good news, but some important news to talk about. Also because it will have a big impact on our season and the future. With the future, I mean next season. But before we get into it, again, Happy New Year. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because we have some big things planned for 2022. And yeah, you can stay tuned for that. So let's get into it immediately. Well, you can guess the news. It's Morata, it's Icardi. That's basically the news that is taking place now. What is happening now? Nothing really changed. I will first read Romeo's tweet. So Romeo said, "Situation Morata. The situation has not changed. Juventus to date has no agreements with anyone to eventually replace Morata. Xavi is pushing for the deal to happen. There's a total agreement with Morata. We will see if there will be any developments in the next hours." And then Di Marcio said, "Juventus has started in recent days the first contacts for Icardi. The club have not yet decided on the formulas and the figures of the possible transfer, but there has been a first request for information from Juve. In the coming days, Juve will have to decide whether to get serious for Icardi. PSG will evaluate if they will be willing to accept a temporary solution without an obligation to buy, and Juve's will is carefully choose the striker of the future at the end of the season." So that's a lot of news basically in one small portion of an article, basically what Di Marcio did. Now, there are so many angles to see this because we going into the transfer window, in the January transfer window, we all expected that nothing would happen or the striker would arrive, but to play alongside Morata or to compete with Morata. Now everything has changed, and this is big because, as Di Marcio said, it has implications on the future. Now, what were you planning to do in the summer? Well, one thing was for sure, we were not planning to buy Morata. That's obvious now. Otherwise, the news would have been shut down by now, and this was not even news. And the second thing is, we are looking for a replacement. If you're gonna find one, we don't know that, but if we were not even entertaining to replace Morata or to try to replace Morata and give him his transfer, we would have known by now. The club would have leaked out saying we're not doing that now. We're keeping Morata until the end of the summer. But now not the problem, but the main kind of issues is you can keep Morata, but he's not playing well this season. He's not scoring. That's why we are all looking for a new striker or hoping a new striker was coming in. So he's not playing well. And on top of that, you're keeping him whilst he could have gone to a club he wants to join, mainly because he can get job security. Like he knows I have 18 months long term deal. So he has kind of job security. So you're gonna keep him. He will be unhappy because that's what Morata is. Not just Morata, any player maybe, and he's not even playing well. So are you gonna how do you want to say that? Are you gonna use that, or are you gonna build on Morata, on an unhappy Morata maybe, to drag you into the top four, because we're gonna need goals. So that's that. So I do believe we are trying to give Morata what he wants, and that's a transfer by bringing someone in. But now the big question mark is, like Di Marcio said, what were we planning to do in the future? And meaning in the future, meaning the summer. Were we going for Vlahovic? If yes, then bringing in Icardi with an option or stuff like that, obligation, makes no sense. Now, if it's pretty obvious we're not able to get Vlahovic, like there's no chance, then I think we will know if we will get if there will be an obligation, if the club accepts getting Icardi now with an obligation. I think that not a thing. I'm pretty sure that means we're not gonna get Vlahovic or any striker in the summer. It's gonna be Icardi plus I don't know who, or just Icardi, Keane, and that's it. So that's that's a big question mark, and I think the club is kind of struggling with that idea because I still believe, I said it before, I think we can get Vlahovic if we make top four. But to make top four, you need good performances, you need goals, which we're kind of missing this season. Not kind of, we are missing it. We're scoring far too little. Like there are Bologna and teams like that are on the same goals or more goals than us. That's not normal. That's not okay, and that's not gonna get you in the top four at the end of this season. But that's one part of the problem, or a few parts of the problem. The next one is the season is starting. Like on Thursday, we have a big game against Napoli, a must-win game. Like we're 4 points behind. We need to win that game. Period. Like not even a point is enough. If you lose, you're back to square one. It's 7 points, and it's again an uphill battle in a very difficult month. So on Thursday, you need to win that game. What is going to happen? Like, is Morata's head still in it? Is he thinking about a transfer? Is he leaving before Thursday? And what then? If he leaves, is Morata, is Icardi or his replacement in by Thursday? I don't think that anything is happening in the first few weeks. If something is happening, and that's also worrying, like how will Morata play in those few weeks, in these few matches? How will he mentally? Is he in it? Because at the moment he's not performing well. So how will that impact us? So it's a kind of sticky situation which should be getting resolved really, really quickly. Like it cannot drag on because this is not the summer, it's January, and we have a big January ahead of us. It needs to ideally we should have clarity before Tuesday. On Tuesday, we should know, like, yeah, he's gonna leave and it's gonna be Icardi, like, because they will accept a loan with an option, no obligation or stuff like that. But we should be knowing it really soon, because the longer this drags on, the more it will impact us. And with us, I mean Morata, and Morata will impact the team. As we have seen, when he's not doing well, you can see it. I don't know what's going to happen if he's not with his head in the game. So this needs to get resolved really, really quickly. I said Tuesday. That's false hope, because that's not gonna happen. Let's see tomorrow, because Romeo said let's see in the next few hours, and Di Marzio came out saying there has been contacts. I think because of we already tried once for Icardi, I think the contacts are there. Like we know what Icardi is asking for. We kind of know what PSG is asking for. It's just now figuring out, will PSG accept an option and not an obligation. I think if PSG said we accept an option, but we need 6 million euros for a loan, I think the club will do that immediately. I think they know PSG wants an obligation, which I understand, because if we loan out players we don't want, we also want an obligation. Like we don't want the possibility of them coming back or picking up an injury and coming back, and you cannot even resell them or reloan them to someone else. So I get PSG situation. They're not there to help us out. They're there to help themselves out, getting money into the team. Same for us. But let's see. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that we are trying to give Morata what he wants, and that Icardi is the main name out there. That's that. I think that's pretty obvious now. I said what I said about Icardi. Like, I will take him on a 6-month loan. Because I think he's better. I'm sure he's better than Morata. I know he has not shown that the last couple of seasons. He kind of struggled with PSG, but I think if he comes in, he will do better than Morata. Even mid-season, I will say even mid-season, even if that's a stretch by saying mid-season, because that's not easy. It's not easy because he's gonna be the main guy and he's gonna be straight in the lineup. I think that's why the club is also a bit hesitating, and Allegri, because the idea was to add another striker on top of Morata and not replace Morata, because that's a whole different thing to do mid-season in January in a big month where we play big games, important games, must-win games. Yeah, let's see. But I think it's obvious. It's Morata is gonna go if we get Icardi. If not, Morata's gonna stay because there are no options out there. And if we get Icardi with an obligation to buy, I think we can say bye bye to Vlahovic also. If it's an obligation, because the obligation will be around 35 million euros. We're not gonna spend another 70 on Vlahovic and have 100 million euros plus Keane, 150 or 140 almost worth on strikers. That's not gonna happen, especially when Icardi is on 6 million euros. Like, and even Vlahovic will be on 6. So that's not gonna happen. So it's a big week. Besides the big game, it's a big week for the club and for the future because a lot of things will be clear hopefully in this week because it shouldn't drag on longer because the longer this drags on, the more it will impact us in a negative way. It will. So let's see. So yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments, or let us know in the comments what you think. Would you take Icardi or just say to Morata it's not gonna happen and risk to have an unhappy, already not performing Morata in the team? If it's an obligation for Icardi, what do you say about that? So yeah, let us know. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be back with a live on Monday. On Monday and on Tuesday, there will be a Fagioli video on Monday. So Julian watched Fagioli play in Serie B and he's doing a coach's corner on that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then we will see you in the next one.